sees you. Somebody will never leave you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God
Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well.
knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows.
Hey, it's a great day in Arkansas. I hope it's a wonderful day where you are this morning as well. Let's go ahead and get started and dive in. Lower that music down. Here we go. It's a great day in Arkansas. Here. It's a wonderful day where you are this morning. Right there. Boom. Muted. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's episode 1327. It is October 17th. It is Mason's birthday. So if you know ways to send Mason his birthday wishes, 19. Can you believe it? Oh, my gosh. My name is Sean Murphy. I'm the creator of Your Thoughts Create Your Income, Mental Profits. Your Thoughts Create Your Income. I'm the creator of, excuse me. Hey, happy dad. How are you? Peggy, how are you in Singapore? Good to see you, my love. I loved your video about where you grabbed it out of the sky and then held it right open. That was a cool video this morning, or whenever you did that. You're real. I'm the creator of your Secret Sauce Academy, your Self-Talk Academy. The Secret Sauce Academy is a pretty amazing conversation. It's a 7-week program where you learn how to find out the one that is you, the part of you that is looking to uncover yourself, create yourself, that part of you that everybody knows exists except you. So that's the Secret Sauce Academy. I have a 12-week program, actually a 16-week program on Science of Getting Rich. It's literally the Science of Getting Rich program from Bob Proctor. I've actually done that for 20 plus years. So I actually put a course together, read the book, have the questions. Most of you don't have the book of questions that go along with the self-talk program. The Science of Getting Rich program. So all of those things to say, it's a wonderful Monday conversation. And today the conversation is about leadership. And this conversation about leadership might leave a little mark as we wrap up this month and get ready for next month. So I'm going to look at some of my notes here that I was taking this morning in meditation. What you do, right? We talk about practice makes perfect, right? If you've listened to the Les Brown, he says to his audience, it's a recording, and he says, practice makes, and everybody says perfect. He says, no, throw that out. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progress. Here's the challenge. If you do not practice enough, you will progress along the line of leadership and never acquire leadership, because leadership requires something extremely and extraordinarily important. Here's the thing leadership requires. It requires transformation. And when you finally transform into the leader that you were designed and born to do, things change dramatically. They change radically. So practice till you create transformation. Now, you have to have your definite major purpose. Napoleon Hill calls it your definite major purpose. You have to have your definite major purpose in place, because if you do not have your definite major purpose in place, you know what's going to happen is you will transform into what you think about. Follow me on this. There's a big circle going on here, and when you finally realize, it comes back and it bites you somewhere in the southern regions of your body. When you practice transformation, when you practice so much that it allows you to transform, you can only transform into what you think about and bring about. So gratitude's important there. And the only way that you'll transform into something that you don't want is because you're thinking about all of the things you don't want. How many times do you think about the things you don't want? I don't want gas to be so expensive. I don't want it to be so hard to create income. I don't want it to be so hard to recruit. I don't want it to be so hard in the relationship. Jim Rohn said, don't ask for things to get easier. Ask for you to get better. So if now you want to practice transformation, because it's going to be a required process for you to transform into your highest self, into your best leader. And so if you want to transform, practice, that's great. You're going to have to practice in private and then perform in public. See, the transformation happens at the performance. It doesn't happen always in the practice. The practice is what gives you the idea. The practice is what gives you the capability. The practice is what gives you the capacity. It really sits in, it really sinks in, it really sticks with you when you finally perform your leadership skills. Let me ask you yesterday, what leadership skills did you perform? Listen, this one's going to hurt. This one's going to hurt. All of you on social media, it's going to hurt a lot. Unless you put a call to action in your video somewhere, you are just spewing information. And people need guidance. Leadership means you need to lead them. And one of the biggest transformations people have, and one of the toughest transformations people go through, is asking people to buy their product, asking people to reach out to them. Hey, listen, good morning, everybody. This conversation is brought to you by Keto Cream, that product you add into your coffee that gives you better memory, better focus, better energy, better skin. If you want to learn more about Keto Cream, reach out to me. If you want to learn about ketones, reach out to me. See, when you perform, it's time for you to step onto the stage, and too many people are practicing or think they're performing behind the screen. You are not performing behind the screen. You will screw up when you get out into your performance, I promise you. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just talking to you what's the reality of it. Nobody is perfect their first time out. Listen, your first one's going to be your worst one. That's what my mentor would say to me, would tick me off. Well, when do I start to get good? When you start to believe you're good. Ooh, snap. So now you're going to practice, and you're going to practice, and you're going to practice what you think about. And what you think about is what shows up. And what shows up is less of what you want. So I'll take you through the little quadrant, the 4 quadrants. So if you were to draw a piece of paper, let's see, do I have a big marker here? I thought I had a, there, yep, I do. So let me do this for you real quick. Here's the reality of what you're going to be facing today. You're going to be facing, you can draw and then put 4 lines in it like this. Right, draw a little box, draw a little box, draw a little box, put 4 lines in it, right? 4 lines in it. And then the top left-hand one, so I'm going to just number them, and then you can fill them in, right? They go around in a circle. Where's one? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I was right. Top left one is potential. What is your leadership potential? Well, now let's talk about being a leader. Here's a hard part. A lot of time we think leadership is telling people what to do. What do you think the potential is of the prospect you're about to go have a conversation with? What do you think the potential is of somebody who likes or comments on one of your videos? What do you think their potential is? Just their potential as a human being. Follow me? Let me make somebody here a Oh, the names keep moving around. Hang on. Make a co-host. There we go. Co-host made. So, what do you think the potential is of your next prospect? Isn't it unlimited? Let's forget about talking about you. I'm talking to you about leadership. I'm pulling you into the world of leadership right now. It's one thing to lead yourself, and most people suck at that. So they figure they're going to go lead other people. Well, they don't go lead other people. They go tell other people. You should. That's called injected values. See, the biggest challenge with being a leader is knowing that somebody is fully capable and getting them to do it. But they are so resistant to their own success. They are so resistant to their own future. They are so resistant to the peace that resides in leadership. How do I know this? Well, I get to hang out with some people who are resisting peace on a daily basis. So here's the reality. How much is the potential, right? So in the box, in the quadrant, number 1, top left, what is the potential of your prospect? 100%. It's unlimited, right? So potential, number 2, go over to number 2, talk about actions. What are the actions of an unlimited potential human? Pretty freaking amazing. But what's the problem with it? The problem with the actions is that they don't really operate from the unlimited potential. How do we know that? How do you know that your business partner, your new enrollment, the person who you're about to have a conversation with, your spouse, your significant other who says, I want to improve, they're on this journey. How do you know that their actions are less than an unlimited potential action? By their results. Number 3, box number 3, you can put results. So now if their potential is unlimited and they do unlimited actions, how do you measure that, right? Measure, inspect what you expect. Well, their limited actions produce a result, and that result shows you how much they believe. Box number 4, certainty and belief. Certainty and belief in box number 4. That's what causes you to understand why their actions are so horrible, is because the results are less than what they desire. How many of you are sitting at your income level that you promised everybody you'd be at 5 years? How many of you are sitting at your peace in your body and in your mind you promised everybody you'd be at 3 years ago? How many of you are sitting in your relationship with your children that you said you were going to create 2 years ago? How many of you said you'd wake up in the morning that you'd be full of energy, fully in charge, fully engulfed in your day and jumping out of bed that you promised last week? Geez, if he keeps going on with this pause, I'm going to jump out a window. Don't do that. So let's talk about some of the things of leadership. So practice makes transformation. What are you going to transform into today? I mean transform, not just change. I'm going to get a little bit better. I'm going to do 2 videos instead of 1. What changes if you transform into beast mode, success mode? Just for 24 hours. What could you do in the next 24 hours, starting right now? What could you do in the next 24 hours that you've been procrastinating on for 24 weeks, 24 years? Here's how you create massive transformation. You ready? Here's how you create massive transformation. You want to know? Massive transformation starts with the beginner's mind. See, the reason that you get stuck, you fall off the wagon, you fall off the path, you get pulled back into your old story is that you say, I know this. You don't know anything about today. You're not even sitting in wonder and awe, the fact that the sun is still where it is and we're circling where we are and the Jupiter's where it is and Uranus is supposed to be where it is. Do we still call that a planet? Uranus. I'm sorry, Uranus. We pronounce it as Uranus as a 7th grader. You know where my mind is. Uranus. So begin with the beginner's mind. What does the beginner mind say today? I've never been here today. I have all of these skills and all of these talents for the last 58 years. Is it 58 years? 57 years. 57 years. Yeah. We're not rushing it. For the 57 years, I have all of these skills and talents, but today is totally new to me. I am sitting in awe of the fact that I get to breathe another breath. I get to blink another blink. I get to see another sunrise. I get to see, God willing, another sunset. And I get to have impact in the world today that could leave a legacy of 600 generations. I got some work to do. I got some fun things to share. I've got some places to be. I've got some things to do. This conversation now brought to you by Contact Mapping at contactmapping.com for all of your contact needs. I said that because they're friends and family, if you will, the Chenaults, and I get to go out and be the MC for their event this weekend. Friday and Saturday in Longmont, Colorado, they're doing their first live event. They're going to have people flying in from all over to attend a workshop on Saturday and a mastermind on Sunday. I think that's how it is. I think that's how it goes. Yeah. So I hope that you understand what you have to begin today. You have a new opportunity to make all things different in your world. So what will you master? Only then and only when, that's when you transform. You transform and you cross over into this level of mastery. The challenge is most of us are shallow working. Cal Newport in his book, Deep Work, a great book, big book, Cal Newport in his book, Deep Work, talks about how we do such shallow work. It's very hard for us to do any deep work. Deep work is when we're absolutely focused, undistracted. Some of you have been distracted a dozen times, if not more, already this morning just by listening to me. And just while watching me, something is pinged on your screen and something has triggered you here, and an email has come in on something and a drop down has happened on your phone. Do you realize that every time you have a distraction, if you're truly working on something, if you're truly focused on something, if you really want to go into deep work, if you really want to focus on something, maybe not even deep work, just focusing on it. How many of you think you can multitask? I'm sorry, you can't. Check out the brain research. It is impossible to multitask. Let me tell you what happens when you multitask. And this is why people fall short of becoming the leader that they truly want, is because they multitask leadership. Here's the reality with multitasking. Your brain can only focus on one task. And when it gets pulled off of it, the average time to get plugged back in, tuned back in, fired back up, if you had any traction at all in the subject you were working on, is about 24 minutes. So every time you flitter from this one to that one, and you fly like a gnat from this one to that one, and you're butterfly over here and you butterfly over there, it's 20 minutes before you can get back in tuned in time, in sync and space with that thing that you were working on. So sorry, ladies. Those of you that think you can multitask, you can't. You just do a lot of good stuff. You're not doing great stuff. That's why you feel pulled, exhausted, because you haven't finished anything. The brain wants to finish stuff, and if it doesn't finish stuff, it exhausts the living crap out of you until you finish the thing, and that's why you can't sleep at night. That's why you go to bed exhausted, saying, I didn't get it all done. You wake up in the morning saying, I didn't get enough sleep, and you're already behind the 8 ball when you get started in the morning. It's this idea that you can multitask. Well, I'm a mom. Sorry, you're still not multitasking. You want to multitask? Go ahead and journal right now. I'm serious. Journal right now while I'm talking, and journal some thoughts and ideas that have nothing to do with this. Journal about your yesterday. And I'm just going to keep talking here, and I want you to see how quick you can not multitask. You can't even listen to me and journal the thing you want to journal. Because when I say listen to me, you're going to have a little test later on. You're going to need to be able to respond and answer some questions to what I'm asking you right now. How far away is the sun from the earth? Right? What's the speed of light? What is the Schumann resonance of the earth? If you can't do it, stop thinking you can do it. Stop thinking you're immortal. You're not immortal. You're an amazing mortal. You're an amazing soul. You have to have some things done. But the reason that you try multitasking is that the challenge is that you have this beginner's mind that's not a beginner's mind. Well, I'm going to start this new, but you already think there's so many things that you already know, and you don't. When you can learn to sit in awe and be amazed at the understanding of what you have been given, what's been given to you today, there's a lot of people who didn't get what you've got today. Don't take it for granted. So mastery. That's what will cause the transformation. The reason most people, I keep doing this and I don't get anywhere, because you haven't mastered it, because you've been multitasking yourself to death. So stop working for perfection. I have so many people, I just want to get it perfect. You'll never know perfection. In the Bible, there's a phrase that says, on the way to. You'll never get it perfect. Even the ones who have mastered it to the absolutely nth degree can still sharpen the saw. So get over it. Done is the new perfect. You are using perfection as such a way to procrastinate. And people believe your BS, both the BS and your belief system. Because people want to be good. I want to make sure it's good. And listen, it sucks if you don't get it out there. It's horrible if you don't produce anything. A done bad thing is better than a perfect nothing. And how many of you, whenever you've done something for the first time, you've gotten tremendous accolades from the people in your audiences? When you let people know, listen, people want to support you. Shocking thought, I know. People want to support you. They want to be part of your community. They want to be part of your cheering group. So when you say, hey, listen, I'm not doing, this is the first time I've ever done this. This is the first time I've ever done this. So but Bill Gove, the father of professional public speaking, one of the best audios he ever had, he said, Mary's asked me at the speakers from the speakers roundtable, she asked me to do a little quick audio here on what it takes to be a public speaker. So with your permission, this is me in the real and the raw. And so if you're okay with me saying some ums and some ahs and some extra pauses as I gather my thoughts, that's what this is going to be about. This is the professional public speaker who teaches people how to platform speak to create income from the stage. He's since passed for a while now. Steve Siebold, it was his business partner. It's called the Gove-Siebold Institute. If anybody wants to learn how to go to attend the Gove-Siebold speaking class that takes place in Atlanta at his mansion, reach out to me. I'll make sure you get a special deal. I'm a student of that for 20 plus years, the Gove-Siebold Institute. So mastery is what's going to be needed for transformation. So you'll never know perfection, so stop looking for it. Just start looking for progress. Start looking for it. This is kind of like people, anybody drop a T in the chat if you think you've ever studied or wanted to study time management. Drop a T in the chat if you think time management is important. Sorry to bust your bubble. There's no such thing as time management. Time management would mean that you could manage time. You could slow it down, speed it up. You could have more of it. You could have less of it. You cannot, sorry to bust your bubble. You cannot manage time. You can only manage your energy in time. So if you truly want time management, manage your energy. Because otherwise you're going to be running around going, I didn't get that done. I didn't get that done. I need a better planner. I need a better tool. I need a better app. No, you need better energy. You need better control of your energy. You want to understand what leaders do? Yes, they have a calendar. Things happen on a calendar. Things change on a calendar. When you're operating at the level that you truly want to operate, there will be some, what's the word I'm looking for? Screw ups in your planning. There will be emergencies in your planning. You cannot. There's not a single soul on the planet that can manage time. Think about what it really means. Manage. I need a better time management. I need a better journal. No, you need a better headspace. You need to understand that it's about state. See, time management is strategy. You will always be stuck in strategy. Too many people are stuck in strategy. How do I do this? How do I get more time? How do I become more efficient with my time? How do you become more efficient with your time? You get better with your state. You understand the state you're in, and you will blow through items on your checklist like you wouldn't even imagine when you're in the proper state. Do you know how much energy it takes to try to manage time? Do you know how much energy it takes to try to be happy when you're pissed off? It will be a cold day in Hades, the day that you can be pissed off and get all your stuff done because it's not done to the way you like it. And then you go to sleep going, I could have done that better. I should have done that better. Do you have a group that you stay with? Do you have a group of accountability partners that hold you accountable? And I'm talking about hold you accountable. They don't even have to be in the same field you are. They just say, okay, you said you were going to do this. Did you do this? You said you were going to do that. Did you do that? And if you didn't, well, then what's the punishment? See, there's no pain when you screw up other than the one that you beat yourself up with. But that's not massive enough because you do that all the time. You tell yourself how you're not a leader. You tell yourself how you're not a sponsor. You tell yourself how you're not a promoter. You tell yourself how hard it is to reach out. You tell yourself all of these things. And I'll be damned if the world doesn't give you exactly what you ask for. So how do you practice leadership? You want to learn the best way to practice leadership? Learn how to ask questions. How many questions did you ask yesterday? How many questions did you ask yesterday? Versus how many times you told somebody what to do. See, the challenge is if you start all of a sudden, okay, Sean, today I'm going to start asking questions. Your audience is already pre-programmed for you to give them all of the facts, and they love hanging out with you for all of the facts, and they want to get the facts because they think the facts are the things, the facts are the strategy. And if I get the strategy, shit, I got this thing knocked out. You can give them all. Listen, Google exists. My cousin Googled. You met him? You could Google anything and get 1 million responses. The strategy isn't that doesn't exist. The strategy exists for anything you want to do right now. But the strategy doesn't work for the state you want to be in. So this is the thing. What comes first? Chicken or the egg, the heat or the fire? You stand in front of a fireplace and say, give me heat. And you got a pile of wood sitting over here. Give me heat, I'll give you wood. No. You got to start the fire, baby. You got to put the effort in. You got to create the friction against your old story versus your new story. That's how the fire starts. That's how you get pissed off, is you create the friction between the old story and the new story. And you're practicing for perfection. And you say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to manage time. And you put so much pressure on yourself that the first time that you actually see leadership, you see the sunrise, you're like, oh my God, look at this sunrise. I've done it. No, you haven't even done it. You haven't even planted the seed yet. You haven't even stepped out of the dark yet. And you're wondering, why can't I follow? Why can't I do this? Why is follow-up so hard? Why is all of this stuff so difficult? All of these things that I need, all of these skills, these tools, these talents I need to make it to the next level. The reason they're a challenge is because of your state, not because of your strategy. Time management is a strategy. Energy management is a state. Perfect practice, perfection is a strategy. Progress is a state. Belief in yourself is a state. TikTok, Reels, Instagram, whatever it is, those are strategies. And I can look at how many of you can look at somebody's reel and tell whether they were in a good mood or a bad mood? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can tell what somebody was in a good mood or a bad mood when you see their strategy. Even if they're doing all of the smiling and everything else, you just look at it and go, something's off there. Listen, they can tell when they look at yours too. Being in state is one of the most difficult things that you'll ever do. Until, Jim Rohn's favorite word, until. I got like 3 pages of notes here and I only got to 2 of them. And not even 2 of them. Like 4 bullets. I'll leave you with this. Do you know why the DIY process of personal development fails 98% of the time? Because those are the statistics, right? Those are the stats. 98% of the people are falling short of their goals. 2%, 3% control all of the wealth, control as much wealth as the other 97, 98% do, right? You know those numbers. You know those statistics. That's strategy working. 97% is strategy working. The 3% are using state. Well, how do you do that? That's strategy. The way you get into state is you have to have somebody that can teach you how to unwire, personally undevelop your old story so that you can wind up in state of your new story. Because you're trying to get into the new state of your new story with your old programming. It doesn't work that way. And you're the one frustrated, and you're the one that gets headaches, and you're the one that gets muscle problems, and you're the one that has stomach aches, and you're the one that can't sleep at night, and you're the one that wakes up exhausted because you're trying to use your old programming for your new method. Doesn't work. 98% of the population prove it. And yet, we still want to know strategy. Tell me how. So here's the formula. DIY plus NA plus FB equals failure. Do it yourself plus no accountability plus false beliefs about who you are. Guaranteed failure. How's that working for you? How's your coach helping you? How's your mentor helping you that you call people online that you follow? My mentor, I was talking to my mentor the other day. They're not a mentor. They're not a mentor. If they're not looking you in the eye and saying, hey, listen, you are falling short here. You are not having success because you're doing this. Oh, and by the way, your mentor, it would be wise if they didn't have any influence over your income, meaning that they didn't significantly benefit from your income. Typically, we lock ourselves in if we're in network marketing to the people who are in our community, to my upline. I was listening to my mentor. My upline, your mentor joined 5 minutes before you did. How many people are paying your mentor to come bring their message to the world? Listen, I'm being a little tough because you only got this lifetime. I don't know what you're waiting on, but you've been duped. You've been confused. You've been misled that somebody in your organization who is only in your organization can give you guidance and give you leadership. Most people are afraid when somebody attends an outside thing because they're trying to insulate their community to their way of thinking. Man, what a smack that is. I love the profession of network marketing. I'm in it. I build huge organizations. I love it. You know why my teams probably succeed more than others is because I bring outside people in. I encourage people to go outside. See, I know the difference between isolation and insulation. Some of you are being isolated from great leadership, great conversations. And you're afraid to step out because somebody's going to go, well, that's contrary to what I'm teaching you. The person teaching you, ask them how many times they got paid to go speak on that message, on that mission that they're speaking on. The thing they're teaching you, how many people have said, that's so valuable, come to my company and teach it? You're going to find out that's a very, 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 very small percentage. So now I'll ask you another question. Who's challenging you for your more? Not for their more, for your more. You might be surprised. If you read a book and you get challenged by a book, that's a good mentor. Read the damn book again. You find somebody who's got some good reels, some good conversations, that's some good stuff. If it challenges you, great. The question is who are you having a conversation with when you're getting challenged so that you can figure out what the author was intending, what the intention is behind that based upon your understanding and your capability and your capacity and your neuroencoding and your self-talk. That's why it's so challenging. You're asking one person to give you one concept, and then when you get that one concept, the other 97 concepts that make up you don't fall in line with it. And then you get stuck. See, most people out there, mentors are teaching, let's go build your business. I want to help you build your life. I want to help you build the name on your mailbox, not the name on your check. I'm about helping you build legacy in your life, not your company. So when you're ready to have more of what you want and less of what you don't, good morning, Beamish. When you want to have more of what you want, less of what you don't, you're going to finally wake up and you're going to ask the right question. Who do I need? Not what do I need? The challenge is when you ask, what do I need? Your body, your brain, your memory, everything, your past says, you got enough, let's go do it. And then you struggle. So let me ask you, how many more days do you want to struggle? How many more days do you want to fall short? How many more days do you want to not keep your promise? And listen, the transition, it's the slightest transition. Wallace D Wattles said in the book, Science Against Rich, it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. You're already doing the certain things. It's just that it's possible, there's a great chance, your results prove it, that you're not doing it in a certain way and you're missing the certain thing. And you keep doing more and more and more and more. And you listen to stuff like go for no. And you listen to stuff like just do it. You listen to stuff like you're in the grind, get in the grind, wake up and grind, rise and grind. How's that working for you? How's that working for you? When you're ready to change that, you'll reach out. Listen, you have a limited time opportunity. Why do I say that? Because we're all running towards a grave. Do you want what you want in this lifetime or the next? I'd encourage you, get the 12-week program. It's the most inexpensive way for you to get the maximum amount of result of me. And that's how you get started. People say, well, how do I get started with you? Go get the 12-week program. Let me mentor you for 12 weeks and watch what happens in your business by week 2. You won't even recognize yourself by week 3. I promise you. If not, you get your money back. There's a price for you to pay. You're either going to cut your teeth or cut a check. I don't need your money. I like your money. I want your money, but I don't need it. Why do you think I do this every day? Every day, 1,327 days I've done a half-hour training, and I've gone way over today. I've done an hour training. There's over 5,000 hours in the archives of the Daily Awakening. You don't want access to that? How silly is that for $50 a month? So have an amazing day. Thank you for hanging out with me a little bit here. Let me just look. See, there was so change your state. This is good. All right, just making sure. All right. I love you all. Thank you, Instagram, for being here. YouTube, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go have a conversation with my VIP group. See, that's the other thing you get. For $50 a month, I'm $10,000 a month as a coach. As a mentor, it's a lot more. But as a coach, I'll help you get done what you need to get done. I'll show you how to do what you need to do. But as a mentor, that price is scary for most people. But there's a guarantee to it. I guarantee everything. This isn't a program you buy and that's, oh, good luck for you. You always get 1,000% return on anything you do when you invest with me. Because if I can't give you 1,000% return, 1,000% return, then what the hell am I doing even talking to you? Why do I even deserve the time for you to listen to me? So have an incredible day. I am your brain training misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Have an incredible day. Hey, listen, send out your messages of joy, of gratitude. And thanks for making the world a better place. I appreciate you. I love you tons. Bye for now. And YouTube, I love you so very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for all of the comments. I appreciate you all. And I will see you all where? At the next event. So from your neuroencoding, a training, a misfit,